Hi everybody, this is Dennis Bain with Push Button Power Leads and welcome to our site. Now, if you're in a network marketing or MLM company, you've come to the right place because that's exactly what we cater to. Let me put it this way. If you've kind of joined any one of those types of businesses, you found out real quick that it's all about lead generation and the consistency of lead generation. And the problem we have found across the years that we've been around is that people kind of jump on board, they find that they need the leads, and then they get lost in the technology to generate the leads. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do the other? That they lose sight of their business. They're so busy getting lost in the technology that they're never ever able to get their business off the ground. So if that's you, we should be able to help you, okay? Let me start out with a real bold statement and see if that's worth your time for a couple minutes here. We guarantee to do all the work necessary to generate 100 incoming calls to you every month that you're on board with us. Now, that's not a scout's honor or a pinky swear, I hope, we can do it. That's an absolute guarantee. In other words, we do all the work, we do all the techie stuff behind the scenes. You don't have to learn any of that, and all you do is answer the phone. Now, if you don't know anything about me, I own Push Button Pros, and what we are is just quite a bit of network marketing tools. In other words, internet marketing tools. We're kind of the picks and shovels, you might say. So what we've done is we've taken a lot of our tools, put them together into one service that we call Push Button Power Leads. Now, you don't have access to those tools, you're not buying those tools, you're just buying the service of us putting those together and doing all the work behind the scenes for you. In other words, if you were actually buying all those tools from us with Power Leads, we'd be defeating the purpose of us doing all the work for you. And what's nice is that we can do that and get your phone ringing in 24 hours, okay? And like I say, we're going to send at least 100 incoming calls to you. In other words, you're not making personal outgoing calls to generate the calls. You don't do any of that. Let me kind of lay it out for you. The products that we've taken from Push Button Pros and kind of put together in the service, there again, you're not buying the products, but this is a Lead Dog, Push Button Dialer, Push Button Autoresponder, and Push Button Manager. Let me kind of break them out a little bit and kind of tell you the parts of those and why it's so important to you. Lead generation is the lifeblood, as I say, to just about any business, and especially in the network marketing MLM industry. And the problem is that you may be able to find a lead here and there, but the consistency is a killer. And there again, I say you get lost in the technology trying to figure that out, and your business kind of goes by the wayside. So, with the Lead Dog, if you know anything about that, actually more specifically the Bone Collector software, which is the most sought after lead generation software online, we know the techniques, so on and so forth, obviously necessary to pull out pre-qualified, proven buyers. In other words, these folks have already proven by their actions that you've already won, they've already done exactly what you're looking for them to do, which is invest in an online business. So that's the type of leads that we deliver. You don't have to find them, you don't have to pay for them, nothing, okay? What we do is we take those leads, put them into Push Button Dialer, another one of our products. And that's kind of a direct response type of thing. In other words, we put out voice broadcasting calls, enough necessary to get you 100 incoming calls back. These calls are in your voice, so all you really have to do is record a 10-second message and a 20-second message, and you're done, okay? That's all you have to do. You don't have to learn anything, you don't do any of that stuff. So basically, the dialer puts out the voice broadcasting call to generate the 100 incoming calls. You get the call, shoot the breeze a little bit, we kind of give you scripts on that as well. And they say they want to take a deeper look at your primary business. What's your email address? Oh, okay. You type it in your back office, automatically Push Button Autoresponder takes over. And what that is, it's a whitelisted autoresponder service, but it's so much more than an autoresponder. I mean, it sends them notices, it sends you notices, I mean, it goes all sorts of spots. In other words, if they click on something, it goes to a different campaign, you get notified. I mean, it's really a good product. So what you can do actually on all of our products, look a little bit lower down on this particular page, and I have what I call my Bad Boys series. And it's a video going a little bit deeper into each product and how it's part and parcel to Push Button Power Leads, okay? So at any rate, that's the autoresponder. At the same time that you're putting the people in the autoresponder, in other words, their email push a button, it automatically puts them into Push Button Manager. And Push Button Manager is real cool because it helps you keep organized in your business. I mean, we've all got, sticky notes all over the computer screen and tons of papers on the desk. Well, this is kind of like putting your entire business online. It's kind of like what are those things called? Like day at a glance, month at a glance, year at a glance. It's that type of product online to where you can take notes, schedule appointments, reminders, all sorts of stuff. So basically that's the only product that you do have access to because it's interactive with you. The rest of them you don't have access to because it would defeat the purpose of us doing all the work, okay? And like I say, that's a guarantee. We do all the work to get you at least 100 incoming calls. All you do is answer the phone and move on, okay? You talk about your business or whatever you want to talk about, and you're obviously heading towards making a sale. Now, can we guarantee that you're going to make sales for your primary business from using push-button power leads? No, because we don't really know what business you're in or how you market or any of that. But I mean, we can get the horse to the trough. You're going to have to, get them to drink the water. But we help you with that a little bit on the backside as well, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, a couple of the features, along with, some of the things that we involve here, is we can get your phone ringing in 24 hours, okay? So we put out calls Monday through Friday, so you'll get them probably 7 days a week, usually in the range of 3 to 5 calls a day. Sometimes 2, sometimes 6, sometimes 3, bounce around. But it's at least 100 incoming calls. And we can do it within 24 hours, at least start that ball rolling for you. All the leads that you will get are exclusive to you inside our system. In other words, we don't sell them to 5 zillion people like most people do, okay? In other words, we have a big list that goes into the dialer, and the minute that phone number is called, it's purged from the system, so we don't even have the possibility of calling it twice, okay? So these leads are exclusive to you, and they're like-minded, pre-qualified, proven buyers, okay? Also, with the push-button dialer, we're one of the only ones around that are tied to the national DNC. In other words, all the leads that we're generating from the bone collector type thing, we toss into the dialer, scrub them against the DNC, and even though we're going business to business, we figure that we'll still do that, kind of get rid of all the grumpy people, okay? Also, it's predictable. That's key. I earlier mentioned that consistency is the key. Let's say you start out and you're not too good on the phone, Well, it doesn't matter. You mess up a day, maybe tomorrow. Well, there's another batch coming the next day, another batch the next day. You don't have to worry about it. They will come your way without you having to do a thing. So you can kind of learn as you go, talking on the phone without having to learn all that techie stuff, okay? Also, we're integrated with Facebook. In other words, when you toss that person's email into the autoresponder, it automatically puts them into the manager. But it also, we've got a code that will search for that email address, and if that's the email address that they use for their Facebook account, bingo, it automatically brings up a friend request, push a button, and you not only have them in your business world with all of this sort of stuff, and the phone call, and this, that, and the other, and the autoresponder, you may also keep them in your business world in another way from Facebook, okay? Now, keep in mind, we do all the work for you. I mean, I guarantee you don't have to do any of that techie stuff. Like I said before, it defeats the purpose of the entire service, okay? And there's nothing else to buy. In other words, we're not going to tell you, okay, we do all this stuff, but we forgot to tell you that you got to buy the leads. Now, the leads are included, no leads to buy, we take care of it. Usually with the dialer, you usually have to buy minutes to be able to use a voice broadcasting system. That's on us, okay? No minutes to buy. Nothing else to buy other than the figures down at the bottom of this page. Now, there's a lot of videos on this page and a lot of information, and the reason for that is because we're kind of the original in this type of marketing, okay, doing everything for you and you just answering the phone. And it's because we're not just good at one thing, we're good at all sorts of things, and we've been doing it for years. So what we want to do is we want to put all the information out to you in the public, all the scripts, everything's out here on the website. We have a real full-blown FAQ page, so that you can go through the entire, website and get a good, clear vision of what, you may have to do, what we're doing, and so on and so forth. Kind of what's your part, answer the phone, and what's our part on the techie side. I mean, we go into a lot of those things, even though they don't necessarily matter because you don't have to learn them, but we felt that it's a good idea to give you at least a frame of reference for what we're happening. Okay? We also have an affiliate program if that's of interest to you. There's another video down below about that. But I would suggest going ahead and jogging through everything you can. Don't make your mind instantly. I mean, a lot of people jump on board and they say, man, this is a dream come true, But I would rather have you make a business decision, a logical business decision, if it's a good fit for you and your company. Now, if you're in network marketing and MLM, I know it's a great fit because that's exactly what we cater to. But our style has to, fit with you as well. I mean, you may have one way of doing things and we do them a little differently. So take a look around the website, really dig in and watch the videos. I think you'll really get a good well-rounded view of what we do. But like I say, we deliver at least 100 incoming calls to you every single month. We do all the work. All you do is answer the phone. If that works for you, take a look at the site, and we'll hope to see you on the inside. Bye for now.